Sometimes you may find a need to move your aquarium, whether it's to a new home or a new position in the house. Today we're going to show you what's required and what you need to have on hand in order to make that move successful.
We're moving a 105-gallon aquarium to our new studio. There's a few things you have to have on hand before you even get started. Main thing is you want to have some large bins, extra buckets, because it's going to be putting in water, rock, coral, and fish. You also want to make sure you have new sand, a good bacteria, plenty of nets and towels.
The first thing we're going to do is shut down and remove all of the equipment on the aquarium. To drain the sump, we're going to use the Seche Ultra Zero pump. This is a great pump. It draws from the bottom, allows you to get the water super low. The rest we can use a wet vac or something like that to get it out. All right, guys, when you're removing the lights, make sure you're extra careful. You do not want these to fall in the water. So again, just be extra careful.
Our next step is we're going to start draining water from the aquarium into your bins and buckets. This is where you're going to put your rock, corals, and fish. I'm also going to take pictures as I go removing rock so that I can then rescape it as close to original as possible. We've taken all the rock out and the corals. Now it's time to go ahead and search for any snails, crabs that might be left behind. Don't forget to check your sand bed. And also we got a few fish to catch out of here. We are pulling out plenty of water so that we don't run short as we move. Now that we've removed all the rock, the fish, all the inverts, it's time to go ahead and remove the rest of the water and also the sand bed. You do not want to reuse your sand bed. It does have a lot of dirt and gases that is going to cause a really big cycle in your aquarium if you move it. So make sure you have fresh sand on hand.
What we're going to use to take out the sand and some of this remaining water is a wet vac. A wet vac's also a really good tool just to have on hand in general when keeping it in an aquarium.
Now we got all the sand and water out. The next step is going to be take apart your plumbing. Do understand that there's water that's in the overflow box. Do you want to remove that? We're going to use the shop vac. And then when you're taking apart your plumbing, be really careful not to lose any of your gaskets or O-rings.
All right, we've got the aquarium here in its new home in Waterbox Studios, and we've got it all leveled up, and now we're gonna start working on the plumbing.
So we've started putting the plumbing into place, but before we complete that, we do want to do a leak test to make sure all your seals and gaskets in the overflow box are good. So we're just gonna take a little bit of water, and we're gonna pour it into the overflow, not into the pipes, but into the overflow. Enough to just get it water around the base. And check for any water coming out. All right, we finished the plumbing. It is now time for us to put some fresh new sand in here. Then we're gonna put the rock with the corals, start filling it as we go, and then put all the equipment back together.
So we have the tank all set up. We've got the fish in, the corals, the rock. We've got the lighting set up. We're gonna finish setting up the rest of the equipment tomorrow, but there's a few more things that Jess is gonna explain that you need to consider when moving an aquarium.
So no matter how smooth the process goes, you've used a lot of new water, you've brought new sand in, you've got to be cautious of your tank having any spikes or anything like that when you move it. So one thing you want to really do is make sure you're using a good bacterial supplement according to the directions, basically at full strength. And then you're going to put that in. A lot of bacteria are daily for a little bit. We're going to do that. And then you're going to want to also feed your fish extremely lightly for the first week or so, and make sure you're testing the water every couple days just in case you're going to any ammonia or nitrite. So it's been a few days since we moved the aquarium. As you can see, everything is looking good. The water is clear. We've been adding bacteria and monitoring it, and everyone's doing really well.
So as you guys know, moving an aquarium isn't always necessarily ideal or that fun, but if you follow the steps in the video that we just outlined, you can certainly do it successfully.